It's Friday. It's 8 o'clock. It's time for a live stream. So if you're catching this later on, then it's obviously on a replay. But tonight, what we're going to be doing, working on this bad boy, the Losi 5T. And we're going to be giving it better fueling. So I did say in the title that we were going to be fuel injection. Well, kind of. It's not, but it's better fueling. So we're going to be putting some high flow fuel lines on it. Let's go in there. We're also going to be putting on some quick release connectors so we can get the fuel tank in and out nice and easily. And these little bad boys, which I haven't used before, but these are quick release clips for the actual fuel tank. Now you may think, why do we need to get it in and out quickly? Just makes it easy if you want to empty it out and when you want to clean the car, rather than getting underneath and having to undo all the bolts underneath there. Let's get this top off. To get that fuel tank out normally, you have to get underneath the chassis, undo these screws here, over there, another one down there. It's all just a bit of a faff to get the fuel tank out to clean the chassis nicely. So, and as you can see, it's just a little bit dirty at the moment. So we're going to do that tonight as well. Get these garbage fuel lines off of there. These stock ones, which are just thin, they collapse easy. Look at that. And they become very brittle very quickly. These are still original from when the car was first purchased. So you get them off. You get this Tygon high flow fuel line, which doesn't crimp, doesn't crease. Also these adapters in there to get the fuel really flowing. So we will stick you down here. Excuse me. See who we have with us tonight. Hey. So, and I'll put the power in this time because I keep forgetting to do that. Who do we have with us? Let's have a little look-ski, shall we? Come on, get my trusty iPad up and running. Right. Oh, we've got a lot of people. Hi, Charlie. Hi, Sergeant. Hi, Dan. 907 Rob. Evening. Ryan Bahula. Evening. Scott. Moses Adventure. David Smith. It is a 5T. It's a 5T 2.0. We just put the 30-degree Noof body on it because the Losi ones don't last very long. And especially with the type of driving that we do with it. So that came off, that body came on. So yeah, it is a Losi 2.0. It's a genuine one. Who else we got? Can I have people seeing the Losi? Yeah, I don't, Charlie. Losi and Horizon must have been sitting in the boardroom smoking something to come up with that price. Jeeps. Jeepers. That's just bonkers. Hi, Mark Watson. How are you? Jacka, evening. Have I missed anyone? Hopefully I haven't. Big Dan in the house. Big Gaz as well. Yeah, we're on charge. Yeah, I keep forgetting to put you on charge, so I thought I'd put you on charge now. Mine's on 3 years and been bashed hard, lol. Yeah. Oh, give myself a look at that. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Look. Oh, lots of hearts. Can you even see those hearts? Party time, hearts time. That's new. 100%. Look at that. I've seen that before. That Lossi's a joke. What can we get rid of that? Oh, we can, yeah. New Losi RZR is looking, it might look the part, but jeeps, the price of it, and it's very select. It's 1/10 scale as well. $620, is it? Before tax? So what's that? $630, $640 after tax for 10th scale? I'm not being funny, but I'm getting a brand new almost one of the best drift cars you can get. Carbon fibre all over it. Kit form. And even by the time I put the body on it, the electrics and the servo and the wheels on it, I mean, I don't think it's going to hit $620 for a full carbon fibre drift, 1/10 drift car. With far better ESC, far better servo, far better, you know, gyro and everything. It's just, I don't know. It must be something to do with the licensing. That's all I can think of. Right, let's get you turned around. Try and get you a good position on here, if we can. You don't just want to be looking at that. The TLR. You don't want to be looking at the tyre either, do you? Right, let's try and raise you up a bit more. Have you coming in from the top, I think. How's that? Does that look okay? Try and get working in here. Hopefully that looks okay from there for you guys. Yeah, over the top. I mean, I don't know how much licensing they've had to pay for, but jeepers. I mean, that's almost as much as the fire team. You know, I mean, if you think, which is more car all round than anything else. Yeah, I like that designer car. I like, you know, the DR8. I love that DR8. And that style of car I really like. But not that sort of pricing is just bonkers. I mean, it's beyond bonkers. It's just... I would say I'm shocked, but I'm not shocked, because at the end of the day it is Horizons and it is Losi, so we really shouldn't be that surprised, should we? I saw one that was, the one I saw broke a wheel. What? $49.99 if you're lucky. Oh, what, for the, should run on AA. Yeah, I've only seen part of a review. I didn't watch much. It's not a car that interests me, to be honest with you. So I haven't really, I mean, the usual suspects have obviously been given it and are raving about it, because they would. But it's just not a car that appeals to me in any way, shape or form, to be brutally honest with you. So I haven't watched any reviews on it. It might be a good car, it might not be. It's just not something that appeals to me. So hopefully coming in the right area. There's supposed to be 4 that goes onto this. It's underneath, so not sure how that works. Do we have to come here? I might have to take it off anyway. Not sure 100% how this works on this bit here, because that one attaches underneath by the looks of it. Yeah. I'm told this works, so I think what you do is you screw it in and then it clips on and you just put the tie through. And how it works, but I'm not sure how it works at this end here, because it looks like I've got to take out that to get the bit underneath, and then to unclip that bit. It's going to be difficult to get past this air filter anyway. He like robbery, says Dan. Yes. Back must take bacon. Make it bacon sandwich, says David. Mark Watson. Yep. Fire-team body was cool, but a lot of folks didn't care for the military aspect of the figures. And doesn't like the figures would rather fit their own in an empty body. Very true. Losi always on the pricey side though. Yeah, but if you think about it, 2 of those and you could get one of these. That's the crazy thing about. I mean, that's putting into perspective. It could almost be 2 of those 1/10 scale plastic cars. You could almost get yourself a brand new Losi 5T. Hi Woods Unknown, how are you? I have one and love it, which is making it more interesting regarding the price hike. Okay. Yeah, big full Baja Ray more than the generic Baja Ray. So licensing plays a part. Plus, I bit inflation since it was a random. Yeah, I get licensing plays a part, but there's got to be a point where you turn around and go, it's just not economically viable to pay that sort of licensing price. Surely, I don't know. Just become a Chinese company and then you don't pay licensing, you just copy it. And avoid all the licensing fees anyway. That's what I'd likely do. Right, so we have got to get underneath here anyway. Undo this one here, which is a bit of a pain because my ribs are still killing me. In case any of you didn't know, I've broken 2 or 3 ribs. It's caused me a little bit of discomfort. Bit of a pain in the backside, but so lifting anything heavy is a little bit awkward at the moment. That's also a reason why I haven't been, with the neck issues I've been having, and not been able to have physio on my neck because I've got busted ribs. One of the reasons I haven't really been doing much editing recently. Because I can't sit at the PC all day working and then carry on sitting there of an evening. It just takes too much out of my neck. So I do apologise, but that's the state of play at the moment. Oh. Ouch, 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 ouch. Oh, I really shouldn't be lifting that up. It's a nice place to be. Why, that's a big one. John Woodward. Yes, it is a big one, John. It's a huge one. The new light kit for the Hightail has indicators. Says wheels down. Griffey, evening, how are you? Love my full Baja Ray. Losi doesn't provide the smiles, but access to inside very annoying. Yeah, a million screws. Oh, sorry, just stretching out that rib where I lifted that up. Yeah, wheels down. I just don't think it's going to be something people are going to walk in and buy, because I think hobby shops are not going to buy it, are they? If we're in reality, I mean, there's one down there. What hobby shop in reality is going to be buying that to stock it on the hope that somebody walks in to buy it? I just don't think anyone's going to walk in to buy it. I could be wrong. You know, we all could be wrong. It could be the best seller since forever. It's got to come out as well. And this is the one that I'm not convinced about under here. How you get to that easily with that air filter there. I suppose if you take the engine out, but my intention was to be able to literally quick release nice and easily without having to worry too much about taking the engine out and everything. I just want to be able to go bish bosh bash and whip it out. And I'm not sure we're going to be able to do that. But it's got to be easier than undoing these, and then the faff trying to get all these to line up as you put them back in is quite annoying. So we'll take it that these will work well. And I need 4 of the little buggers. Well, thanks, Woods Unknown. Appreciate that. Hope your eyes will see sensor drop. Now it's going to be. I tell you now, I haven't looked, but I reckon it's going to be more. I reckon it's going to be over 700 quid when it hits these shores. I don't see it being cheaper. That's if it comes here. I mean, it may not even come here purely because, you know, it's going to be such a select thing. Will Logic want to stock it? Because, you know, you've got to remember, they're the middleman. They've got to buy it, or they've got to take the order off of Horizon, or to then stock it over here. I mean, if they don't think it's going to sell, they may not even stock it. It may not come to this country. A bit like the drag car initially didn't come to, you know, if you look at the Losi drag car didn't come here because I don't think they thought it was going to sell. Griffey says, Dave, there was a time when no plastic model kits were or needed a license. Now every damn kit has paid for a license from manufacturing names that not think like, yeah, I know. Just looked at that Losi as it's such a small vehicle. I wondered if the 1/10 scale, not 1/10 class, only 12mm hexes, so it's only 12mm hexes as well. Oh my god! Would I buy a Chinese Losi? So in other words, Dan, you're asking if I would buy a 30° North. Yes, I would. To be brutally honest with you, I know people who've got a 30° North car, and it's good, holds up well. It's mainly the gears, the drivetrain, the diffs, etc. that are the weak point. I mean, I'll be brutally honest with you. When something breaks on this, if an arm goes, if a turnbuckle goes, or a rod end goes, it's not a Losi part that goes on, it's a 30° North part that goes on. If this bit anything plastic on here, it'll be a 30° North part that goes on it, or a King Motors, whichever part's in stock. Obviously, you know, that drive cup's worn out already because they don't come with much oil in the diff, so I sorted that out. Anything metal like these, etc., I would go Losi or better. Out drives as well. Don't skimp on those sort of things. The 30° North ones just are not as tough. But the chassis is pretty good on 30° North, the wheels, everything. I mean, these are 30° North wheels, as it happens. And these, compared to what you're paying for the Armours and the Traxxas, you'll get a whole set of these with high density foams, bead locks, rubber tyres, etc. For less than you'll pay for a pair of Armour wheels. Bonk, again, you know, people don't believe me when I say, you know, effectively how cheap these cars can be to run, but they can be very cheap to run, depending on what you're doing with them. Hi Mike Bird, how are you? Yes, I mean it's probably 3 weeks in now for the busted ribs. And the annoying thing is the neck was getting better, but because I can't rely on my front to have the neck massage done, neck therapy done, it's got worse again. Endos, how are you? Run it like that, no tank, be quiet then. Well, the other thing is I've also been trying to sort out the exhaust after I don't know whether you guys have seen the video where it's on the Mad Max one where the boys jumped these at Fam Jam last year. Well, this exhaust took a bit of a pounding, and this was all totally stoved in here. This was stoved in, We had a big dent in it there, which I haven't got out. We had a split in it there. This exhaust took an absolute beating. So I did try and get it to pop out. So I bunged up the ends here and here. Well, I filled it with water, bunged up the ends here and here, and then stuck it in the freezer, which did get that bit out. The only problem is it also split it on a seam slightly, so it was going... so I think I've got where it split, and I've put some JB weld on there. So I'm going to have to see if that holds up. It's not in a drastic part. So yeah, slightly annoying. This exhaust has definitely seen better days. So we won't be jumping them like that again. It was fun. It was fun, don't get me wrong, the boys loved it. But yeah, that won't be happening again anytime soon. Took far too much damage. J.R. Hartley is the fly fisher, yes. Okay, so it's $5.69. So actually, is that slightly less? That is a better deal considering ours is including VAT. If you took that down, if you took 20% off of that, if you netted that down to the net price and then applied, that is cheaper than the US. Shama, how are you? How are the Bahamas today? Do they, Mike? Well done. I might have to put that up on my community post then. I need some commission. Thank you. And it's coming into summer. No, Endos, that's taking place tonight. I was hoping to go, but it's a Friday night. Where it's located, for me to get there at that time of night, it means going through what we classify as the Dartford Tunnel or trying to get past Heathrow. Either way would be a nightmare. It would turn into at least a 4-hour drive for me just to get there. So sadly, I couldn't partake in it. And if I was to pick the boys up as well, it would be pushing 4.5, possibly 5 hours just to get there. It was just too much, really. In reality, it's a shame because I did want to do it. I did want to go, but it's just not really feasible. I need something to go in there so I can then spin around. Oh, that'll do it. This could take a while though. What I need is a little Allen key actually, because I do have outside, but I won't go and get it now. Just do this away. MIP drivers do have their uses. Almost there. Right, that's that one done. Good evening, Jordan, how are you? I was looking at your times for that race. It's your consistency that got you that, didn't it? 25s across the board. So, consistency is definitely key. Don't grip roll it. Don't stack it. And then we can beat the fat Stig. Might have to go. Okay, come on. Might have to go and get that Allen key. This is going to prove no, that's okay. Probably would have been easier to take these out and put them in, and then put the things back in. But never mind. We shall try and progress on. And I'm guessing I've got these lined up right. We'll check that in a minute with the, well, I've got to work on the fuel tank anyway, so at some stage we'll be taking this off the bench, then getting the fuel tank opened up, because obviously I've got to take that out, put the new fuel lines on it. So that makes perfect sense to do this at the same time. I've still got to do it to the other Losi as well. So I've got the kit for both Losis, but I thought I'd do it on this one, on this live stream. And then see how easy it is. And then probably when my ribs are a bit better and I can lift these cars a bit better, I will do the other one. Now the question is, actually I'm going to save this for a community post. It's probably a silly question. I think I know the answer to it. We get a three-way vote going, I think. I know how Jack or Callum would vote, that's for sure. Ugh. Phil's been practicing, yes. Kevin Talbot's obviously got home advantage. What's it made of? Metal. I can't weld, Griffey. I wouldn't have a clue how to weld, so yeah, and I don't know anyone that can weld, so it just made it easier just to JB weld it, to be honest with you. I don't think they're doing a live. I think they're all trying to just video it. I mean, it's going to be carnage, because who's there? There's obviously Tommy's there, Kev's there, Noah's there, Pop Along RC's there, and for the life of me I can't remember. I'm sure there was another one going. RC Sparks I think is there as well. Not RC Sparks, RC Kicks rather. RC Sparks. RC Kicks I think is there as well. And I'm sure there was another one, but I can't remember. Evening Jay, how are you? Oh, good, thank you. How are you? I tried that, Mark. Have you got these on yours then? It was bending the body clip a bit, so I didn't really want to do that. I thought I'd just use this and wind it in that way. I did start using the body clip, but I was worried it might bend it. And I didn't want to ruin the body clips. Maybe not. If you've got these, how do you find this one underneath? Does that all clip in all right? Or is it, do you do it from the top or something? Pete, good evening, how are you? Patrick from Sweden. Losi 5T is your absolute favourite, is it? Do you have one, or is it just you love them and like to get one? I will admit, I think it is. I think it's our favourite. It's certainly up there as one of our favourite RCs to play with and to drive. It's not a Sendy car, but it's certainly a fun car to drive. It's a fun car to, to take out and race around with. Put that there, I think. We want it to be. We want to be able to get to it, don't we? So I think there. That's a lot of fiddling. Oh, that's a good idea, Gary. bit late now, we're pretty much done. But when I do the other one, yeah, that's not a bad idea. That's a lot of fiddling, but call this chuck drill on it. Might well do that. Yeah, not bad for an old Creighton. I think your tyres might have helped as well. I've got some of those, I might, because I just found, I don't know, I found the spikes just a bit too grippy, and that's what caused me the grip roll. Have you seen the towing video of the Super 4s? It does look sweet, Shammy, yes. I just don't know, I was going to get one, but I don't know whether I am now. I don't know. I'm undecided. In fact, it's going to be part of the vote, or the poll that I'm going to do. I've been racing at Arc a little bit if the boys haven't been out and the weather's been horrible. Hope to get down to Arc for sure. Show you boys how to do it. Basher bodies. Evening, how are you, buddy? Taking care? Looking after yourself? Maybe these things, I mean, the guy I bought them from, which is Rob over at CCR Racing, he swears by them. So, I've been looking at them. I did almost buy them around Black Friday time when Taylor RC had a little deal on them, and I just didn't get round to it. Then I've been waiting for these quick release things to come in, because they are a godsend. These quick release fuel lines are an absolute godsend. The ones I've got on the other car just make taking the engine out so much easier than having to faff around, undo this, undo that, and then get it all plugged back in. It just makes life easier. Plus I've got the high flow fuel lines to put on this. So, and then I found out that this Rob over at CCR Custom Coatings and Racing had the DDM quick release ones in. So, right, grab them and we'll put those on and we'll get everything done in one go. But it just makes taking the engine out so much easier. For like 10 quid I think they are. It's just one of the best things you can do, in my opinion. Anything quick release on these cars just makes life easier. We'll see what we can always realign them as we put it all back together. Jeremy T, hello, how are you? Hello, Jeremy. I think I missed you saying hello. All good on this side. Hope you're all having fun. Got to go already, but I'll be in the live next time, my friends. Okay, take care, buddy. Take care. QL spiral gears or the HD Racing spiral gear and crown for the rear diff. Ordering some stuff tomorrow. I think the QL spirals are okay. I don't know about the HD Racing spirals. I'm pretty sure a couple of the guys have used the QL spiral gears. New toy for the summer. Beyond RC. Hi, how are you? And you want to know, new toy for the summer. XRT, 30 off. I really like the Super Rock Rate. Losi, what do you reckon? Out of those cars, I would go for the 30 degree north, to be brutally honest with you. I mean, next time you're down at Arc, if we're there, you know, have a drive with one of these if we've got them there. You can't drive them around the main track at the moment, which is a shame, but you're going to take them out for a spin. Once you've driven one of these, I just think you'll want one. Anyone that I know who's driven one and just moved on from it has just gone out and got one themselves. I like the Super Rock Ray though, but XRT is a good car, but the choice between XRT and the Losi 5.2 or 30 degree north, it'll be a 30 degree north or the Losi 5.2 every single time. In my opinion, XRT is it's good. It's you know it's a bit like an X Max, but but it's not the same as driving something like this. You can't send these. You can send them, but you can't send them, if that makes sense. So it depends what you want to do. If you want a sendy, if you want a sendy, good handling basher, the XRT. But if you just want sheer enjoyment of driving and immersiveness and handling, you can't beat one of these, in my opinion. Anyway, that's all that done, I think. Yep. So I'm going to pop these washers on and these body clips. No, we won't. Move all this out of the way, take the car off, put the fuel tank back on here. Oh, this is going to be painful while we sort out the fuel line. Excuse me if I yell. Oh. Ow, 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 ow. Ow, 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 ow. Right, have we got any fuel left in here? Hopefully not. Pretty empty. Pretty empty, that's good. So we have a new bung to put in there as well. We need that though. Yeah, it's pretty empty in there. Bada bing, bada boom. And we do need to put it back in the car to do my measurements. But we'll get this bit back in first. Not photograph is just fun, awesome bit of kit, yeah. You haven't weakened yet, have you, Alistair? I am surprised you haven't weakened. Evening, Alex, how are you? Yeah, I mean, I don't take both the X-Max and the XRT out now. XRT comes out more than the X-Max at the moment, but that's mainly because if we're going to drive it around dark, the X-Max doesn't do that. But at the same time, I'm not going to be sending the XRT at the skate park. I've broken too many bits on it already. It's not as tough as an X-Max. It's just not. And the way it's designed, it cannot be as tough as an X-Max. Everything about it, the physics of it just don't allow it to be as good as an X-Max. Or as tough, sorry, as good as is the wrong word, as tough as an X-Max. And they go through that way. One in. Two in. Right, now I'm going to warm this up because it is a bit of a pain. So, earphone users, watch your ears. It'll just make it is quite tough to put on, so I just want to warm it up a little bit and hopefully it goes on easier. And yeah, not that much easier. Ugh. Right, warm it up a little bit more. Sorry, headphone users. Come on. Okay. That's as much as it's going to go on there. Well, it ain't coming off, so that's all right. Oh. So what have I missed? You lot decided on the Super Forza. Got my 5T with 40 GT. She's wicked. I'm really tempted with the 40 GT. Really tempted. Beyond I see it's a fair point, buddy. We prefer it to the X-Max in fairness. Yeah. Jay, how are you? Chad? What's Chad done? With that Arc Raceway, Fiskars. What with Arc? You're not allowed them on the main track at the moment because of the damage they were doing. Ribs are still sore, very sore today after lifting up that big car. But, you know, it is what it is. No, I won't make any of them electric, Jay. Martin's got an electric one, Ryan's got an electric one. To me, it's just seeing them go around and not making noise isn't right. It's just, they should be making a noise, and a lot of noise. If you need there's also a 30 degree north one you can have to get you by if you're going to Cambridge Raceway when it opens up next month. I'm hoping to get up to Cambridge Raceway, definitely. I've got, potentially, I might be buying, I know someone's got a brand spanking new Olimat silenced one, which I wasn't planning on buying, but he's got it for sale, never been used, because I had this Samba Big Belly, but as this Samba Big Belly has seen better days, it might be that I need to buy the Olimat silenced. Ricky, no. Well, I emailed them initially to ask about the DR8 V2, which they said, well, there isn't one, technically it's already out, and linked me to the red DR8, and I went, no, the new DR8 V2 with some upgrades, and they went, it doesn't exist. I went, okay, fine, well it does, because I know the 5 changes that are coming with the DR8 V2, and then I asked them about the buggy, the truggy and the monster truck, based on the DR8, and if they were going to be getting them, and they said no, don't see the need for them in the UK market. So I've got an email that shows you that. I mean, I'm quite happy go and show everyone the email now, and I've chased them up on the DR8 V2 and told them what the changes were, and they're now ghosting me. So you take that, make of that as you will. What fuel line and then silver things? Oh, what are they called? What high fuel line kit is it? This is just I've got the top one in, mainly because it was, some of them were just ridiculously priced, so I got the top one, which you can get in different colour lines, and that's the part number. I forget how much this was now because I bought it last year. AT001 R63, because I put the blue one on the other car with the OBR in it, and I've bought some actual Tygon, and this is Tygon high flow fuel line. This is the same stuff. This is bought separately, so I thought I wanted to check it out and see what the difference was between what came with the A-top kit and what you could buy outside of it, and it's pretty much the same. The diameter of it's all the same, the stiffness and everything else all the same. The longevity, I don't know. That is Tygon. It's better than this stuff. If you look at this stuff, the way it kinks, there, and that was pinched to stop the fuel flowing. Whereas this one, it don't really kink. So, and the same with that one. It does kink, but you know, it takes a lot more to make it kink. So, whereas this stuff just, they're horrible. And this stuff corrodes and rots as well, so that will just start perishing soon. And it will just turn to powder, whereas this stuff doesn't. Well, the Tygon fuel line doesn't. So I think that was about 16 quid, I think, for it. And it just gives you better fuel flow, and also doesn't allow these to get crimped at all. And I've just got to remember how much I cut off to put in the tank. One of them has got to have the bobble on, and one of them doesn't have the bobble on. And I can't remember which way around to go. I'm going to be right back because I've got to go and check my other car. The one on the right, so this one here, typically, of course, I put them the other way around, is the one that will not be having that. So we want to cut this one to about there. Pull that off of there. 2, 4, 6. And how many of those do I use in there and out of there? Sorry guys, back in a sec. Right, so I don't put any of them on here. Hopefully we can get that on there. And you go. Oh, that was easy peasy. Doobie-doo. Perfect. I'll try heat this up again. Does the XRT seem weaker because it has stuff because it hits stuff? No, not really. I don't think it's any faster, Gary, because the gearing's the same. Just the shorter shocks. There's less bracing going on in there as well. So, you know, you haven't got the tower-to-tower type brace that the X-Max has got. There's just less screws holding it all together. Best thing with those large-scale petrols is the noise of the smell. So you are quite right, Patrick. There is something about the noise and the smell. And if you get a nice Castrol type oil, it's just, oh yeah. Try a little grease works well. Or Vaseline would probably do it, wouldn't it? I think it really sort of keeps where does it keep leaking, Josh? If you're in the UK, if you go to Cobra Distribution, I think it is, they sell all the genuine Zenua stuff. Give it a lick. That's not happening, Jay. That's definitely not happening. bit of spit. I like to go in dry, you know that. 6 horsepower supercharger, yes. All we fixing, but we're not, we're just upgrading the fuel system. Not quite fuel injection, but yeah. Got rid of the Skeeter 4S today, sick of waiting for single parts since January and currently doing nothing about it. Not using the Kronos as much out of fear of getting parts for it. I sold my Kronos, first RC I've ever sold. The Kronos XTR has been sold. Chad, how did the English RC community all meet? Good question. So obviously Kev already knew 8S Steve, and I think 8S Steve knew Ian, so they met up, and Ian, Claire was obviously married to Ian, so that's how they met. And the same with Vinny, etc. Martin just challenged Kev to saying he was the hardest basher out there. Kev took him up on the challenge, and they met up and made friends that way. We were lucky enough to start meeting up with them and get invited to spend time with them as well. So, and that was just through a bit of luck, really. So yeah, but you know, glad we did. Great fun. Love meeting up with them. Then we've got our other, you know, I've got many groups. You know, I've got the guys down in Kent, the Jay Cheeseman, the Paul Goody, Paul Pitney, etc. Then we've got the Arc lot. You know, we've got Noah as well. We've got Mark. I've got Jay. I've got Robbie. Just trying to think if I've missed anyone out. I don't want to miss anyone out. Ryan, Alistair, Harley, etc. So yeah, I mean, I'm blessed. I will say I'm blessed that, you know, at least every Sunday somebody's doing something that I can meet up with. So I think, yeah, Jay, Brad, you know, it's just, I'm very, very lucky. Someone's doing, no, don't do that, because I can't. This is granite, so you can't cut that off and get it off like you can in wine glass. Why does Dave's place sound like he's in deepest Rangoon or in it off bum? I don't know. I need to get the cars out, but I can't find the time or the place to go. Oh, Charlie, that sucks. It must be somewhere nearby. Just Jake, evening. Yeah, it's sweet Friday. Oh, I love a Friday. When's the new drifter coming? Well, I was hoping it was going to be last week, because then I would have met up with you and picked it up. And I was hoping it was going to be this week, but it's not. So it ain't now. Hopefully soon. I'll probably message him tomorrow and find out if it's arrived this week. But it does. I mean, even if we never drive it, I want to build it and look at it. More than anything, as soon as I saw that, I was just like, oh my God, I've got to have one. Even though I can't drift, and even if I just take it along for other people to have a go of, you know, I'd get enjoyment out of seeing other people drive it, to be quite honest with you. How to fix your first pull start? Yeah, easiest one, Spectre. It is just buy a new one. I've bought 2 pull starts this week, and I've just put them in a bag, ready to go. Get a quick release system for it, and sort trying to fix them. I'm fed up with trying to fix them. Okay, I just tuned in to see a gas tank and a hairdryer. No, you haven't just tuned in to see a gas tank and a hairdryer. We're actually sorting out some high flow fuel line. The hairdryer's here to warm the high flow up, so I can get it on that better. So, someone said try a bit of grease, so I might try a bit of grease as well. Oh, actually, I've got just the stuff. What about some green slime? if that helps it at all. Not really. That's on enough. And we don't need that to be that long. We can cut that off about there, because that's the return. And pop that in there now. Bung that in. I'll try and bung it in there anyway. I had fun with this last time as well. So you've got to be careful you don't split these, putting them back in. Come on. Go on, in you go. That's got it. There. I'm going to try and turn it around now. Right. Let's see how long I've got to cut this. 1 second. Here we go. Cut to perfection. Grease will help. No, don't tell me that now, Griffey. Evening, Jeremy. How are you? I don't know, Beyond RC. I'm not getting the new Arlo. I think I've upset them. Kean Berg, how are you? Going to bed? Going to bed? What's going on? Evening, Kevin. Who knows? The Arlos haven't been bad out of the box. They're just too expensive, and yeah, they're totally ignoring me now as well. But I do have a new crawler coming. So we have been contacted by FMS and they're sending us a little crawler to try out. Yeah, Alex, I saw you were getting quite better there on your little video. Okay, well I won't put the slime on there. Not that that really matters, it was on the header, so the return valve or whatever it was. I won't put the slime on. I see now, I was getting a bit worried we were about to see Dave lose his eyebrows. No, just Jake, not quite yet. Miss RC Mess Adventures, all going good, thank you. How are you? Back on there. Try and... These ones go on easier on here. Bish. Much easier on here. Bosh. And then we can put these little clips on. Stop it all falling off. And just make it look a bit snazzier as well, if I'm being honest. I think it makes it look snazzier anyway. Some people might not. Bosh. Now this is the bit which could be a bit harder to get on. Oh, almost forgot. Need to put 2 of these on first. Otherwise, we won't get them on. Gaines, evening. Jean, hello, how are you? RC Spit is the best. Because we're brutally honest. Yeah, I get a feeling sometimes I am a bit too honest, but just the way I am. Maybe they just don't like the fact we abuse their cars a bit too much. I don't know. Hey, we have fun with it. It is what it is. And the weird thing is, when Casey was there, she wouldn't leave me alone. She was trying to get me to try all of their cars. And maybe it's because I kept saying no, no, no. It was only when the AMX 12 came out I said yes. I just didn't want to be bogged down trying, doing reviews of all their cars. Especially when I think pretty much all of them are too expensive. Oh, man, this was the one I knew I was going to struggle with. Getting these on here. Definitely try warming it up again. Sorry, what do we call it? Users, whatever. That will help it go on. Come on. It's warm enough. It's hot in my hands. Oh, mate, come on. We'll try a bit of grease then, shall we? You guys think a bit of grease will help it? Come on. How does everyone else do this? It's getting there. I think that will do. I'm hoping. Over there like that, and hopefully that don't come off anymore. We can but hope. Yeah, I mean, let's just having a bit of fun with the FMS to be quite honest. I'm not sure what video I'm going to do with it. Certainly not going to be sending it. Makes you wonder, are the cheap Chinese still even worth it these days? Yeah. WL toy. I think the MJXs and things like that definitely I think are worth it. But you're right, yeah, little 144001, 60 quid. I wasn't really into the WL toys back then. This was 65 now. Yeah, it's just the Sheen, Malara, etc. all will be gone. Yeah, I think so. They're all running off the same. I don't know who the OEM manufacturer is, but most of them are running off the same cars. You know, if you take the EA Sheen, it's the same as what were the drift cars that came out? They're all the same. It's the same with the MJX, HBX, and MJX, HBX, and FTX. They're all making the same. You know, they're all made by the same company. Those little 1/16ths. Might do more than likely. Are you going to ARC tomorrow, Dave? Not on a Saturday. I'm never out bashing on a Saturday. So the answer to that is no. Very long time since I've put a rubber on Alistair, especially on this sort of car, or any rubber of that nature. I normally used to put them on my head. No need to put rubber of that nature on anymore. Oops. Right. Can't get this on. Oh, come on. Right. Oh, it just slid off. That was like getting in the hole and then it's sliding out the hole. Someone said it would slide off easily. Ah, there we go. Yes. Yes. Ah, we have success. Right. That's the easy bit done. How much of what? The WL toys? Ooh, 140, 150, I think. A lot of Chinese cars close to the LC Racing price, and LC Racing runs rings around them. Yeah, if you take that, I mean, that Rolaro I've got, which is now fixed up, the carbon, basically, the MJXA12 or whatever it's called, that is not far off an LC Racing price point. Now, there was a lot of good functionality on it. It's got the slipper, it's got the hex screws, etc., etc. But would it? I don't think it'll handle like an LC Racing will. How do you feel about no prep drag? I love no prep drag cars, Phantom. Absolutely love them. It's just we didn't get out with them last year because no one else was running. We couldn't really get to the car park. There's a boot fair there now, so I love the concept. I love the idea. We love running them. Just need more people to do it over here, really, and get that scene going again. We did try and get the scene going 2 years ago. It'll be 2 years this year, and it was going well. And then the winter hit. And once the winter hits, it makes it almost impossible over here to do it. So definitely want to try and get it going again. I've got a drag car. We spent quite a bit of money on that drag car as well. But yeah, it's not taken off like it has in the US. Let's put it that way. This is a shame. I think W Toys 184016 is a good little bucky. I don't know what that one is, mate. Presumably it's 18th scale though. Yeah, I think that with a 144,001 was about 110, wasn't it? I think the brushless one. I think 110 Rally Car LC Racing is lovely. I've got a small 120 RC and yeah. I'm intrigued as to what that new 1/10 Aralo road car is based off of. If I was to hazard a guess, you'd probably find, you know, they say it's been, what, a year and a half in the making. It's probably just based off of a 1/10 WL Toys, but with a road body on it. So why it's taken them that long to make it, I don't know. Can't wait until you get yours, Ricky, and tell me all the inside scope. Might be, I don't know. I've got to find out what the boys are doing first of all. So my first port of call is always to find out what the boys are doing, or what they want to do, because Sundays is, well, it's my fun day. Sunday's a fun day, but also my time with the boys. So my priority is to see what they're doing, and if they are doing what they want to do and not want to come out, then, well, kind of might have football. Jack might just want to be doing whatever Jack does. In which case I'll do what I want to do, but first of all I want to see what they want to do first. So turn your drag car into a dirt oval race car and then race her up on the cyclocross oval. I don't know whether we can, yeah, I don't know how much it would take to do that, Griffey, really. Problem is I spent quite a bit of money on it, trying to make it better with the tyres, with the wheelie bar, the motor, the ESC. I mean, I'll be honest, say the motor. The motor's currently sitting in there. How can that be low battery warning? It's plugged in. Plugged in. Why can that be low battery warning? Stupid thing. So yeah, the actual motor for the drag car is sitting in here at the moment, which, as you can tell, that's been designed for some speed running. So we've got a 3.5 turn hobby wing motor sitting in there, and yeah, that's got some serious power in it. That little bad boy. Hopefully we'll get this run this year. Potentially found a new speed run road. I haven't, but the part of the group has found a new potential speed run road. I think someone pulled 140 odd miles an hour there last week. Again, too far for me to go just to do a bit of speed running on its own. I need to make a day of it, do speed running and then go bashing or whatever. So hopefully this year we get the big rock or the road rock back out and get it over 110. The only one thing for it, Dave, drag boat. Yes. Samba Go, what did you get at Sainsbury's? Yeah, so do I. I've got a boat, we've only run it once or twice. And then we were supposed to have a boat day last year, but it never actually happened. A load of people got boats. Alex has got a boat, Kev's got boats, Claire's got a boat, who else got a boat? Revo's got a boat. So we were supposed to have a boat day, but typical. Now I've put it all on the wrong way round because it goes that way in. And now that means that's on the wrong way round as well. Oh. Oh, that's just typical, isn't it? Because that's the return. That's the intake, and that's the return. And that's now the intake where it needs to come up and over. So I need to take that out and change it all over. That is what you call oh, I'll just sheared them off in there. No, I'm not happy. Oh. Oh, I guess we'll be putting the old fuel line back on then, won't we? Just have to order that bit up again. No, I'm trying to, it's just annoying. I've literally just ordered those well, I was hoping to get this done this week. Not that we're running it at all, anything special, but we'll try and get this off of there. It won't come off. Come on. I'm about to slice you off, I think. It's the easiest way. Done. Just annoying is what it is. We put them on the wrong way. I looked and I just got the way the fuel tank goes back in the wrong way around. So, partly my fault. No, I'm not going to. I'll just buy new ones, Dan. It's not worth trying to solder it. Yeah, just keeping a Blackjack 42 on 6S honest all right. Oh, Blackjack 42. I did want to get one of those, but I've got, we've got the Sonic Wake and I've only driven it once. Volotech SR880 Pro with some mods. Yeah, good little boats as well. Yeah, pretty much same size as a Relara Amber. Next go out is going to be Sail Power to eat total eat signers and chill afternoons and club. Well, you can do that down our one. Where do you go, Sammy? Go? Oh no, it's Griffin. It's okay, but suffers from random quality. Yeah, those fuel lines fit so much better if you put the end in hot water. So I might try that next time. I did think about hot water, and I was thinking getting water in the fuel lines. I might try that next time. And next time I put that back in, I might try some Vaseline around it. But thank you, Dodd. It was more that I had to take it all apart because I connected it up the wrong way around, and as a result of that, I've snapped off that from the head bit, and I'm not going to try and solder it or anything. It's just that ain't going to hold with the solder. For the price of them, I'll just buy new ones. I mean, it's been I think it was welded in there, but it might weld back in, but I'm not a welder. And I don't want to block the hole up and get stuff going in the engine. It's just easier just to buy. I just buy those. I don't need the whole fuel line bit. I just need these bits here. So I have to see if I can just buy those bits. Those 2C gas powered boats, 1.5 metre twin hull. Have you got one of those, Alistair? You haven't got a 32cc gas powered boat. Don't get the Black 42. It caught, what really? And imploded like a banana. Get a TFL Genesis, it's amazing. Well, before we get another boat, I need to be able to drive it. What's the fastest top speed we've been on an RC? 112 miles an hour is the fastest we've been. A local council public yacht boating lake there called Westport Lake. Anglers are banned, so no horrible light. Oh, nice. I bet the anglers hate that. Right, so now we've sorted that, I won't be putting the quick release fuel lines in again. Nice. So we will get this bit back on. In there. So, excuse me while I lift this up. Oh, mate, that hurts so much. There you can see the faff just to put one of these brackets in. But you've got to do it with the engine mounted as well, because you can't get to it otherwise. Now, what do I do with all the screws? You can't see what I'm doing, can you? You can see me now. No. There we go. That's why I did mine hang them out to dry after. I'll try that top then when I get the replacement part. Just the silicone grease worked perfect. Get the high flow fuel line kit from Taylor, better quality. Yeah, look, well, I wanted to, I mean the actual fuel lines on these, because I bought some proper, well, some on its own Tygon fuel line. It's exactly the same stuff by the looks of it as what comes with this one. It's just that, it's those bits there which I probably need, could be better quality metal, but I did look at the Taylor ones and I just thought they were expensive for what they were. I don't know. So I fitted the other ones on the other car, no problem at all. It's just where I've gone to try and take it out and I've put pressure on those two bits and pulled them and they've just sheared off. So it's my own fault. I just don't need any more fuel line because I've got plenty of fuel line now. So I don't want to be buying the whole kit. I don't need the whole kit. I just need those bracket bits. Right, let's see how quick release this technically could be. So you should put that up under there. Make everything on there. But it's getting that bit under there. Let's quick release it there. And that seemed to want to do it. Get that bit on there, that bit on there. It's this one here. So much for quick release. I need to get in under there to pop that on and then pop the rest of these in. But it's not, that doesn't seem to want to work. And anyone else got these quick release things? Because that just don't want to clip in there. I mean, it will go in there. It's this one here that it don't want to clip onto. That one go in, that one go in. That one going down there, but this one up here don't want to go. Well, it's this one under here where that's got to come up and these have got to go down, and it just doesn't want to seem to come up under and in, if that makes sense. you just can't get an angle on it to get it in because it fails on that bit there. And you can't come up at it that way. Stupid. And that then stops you going, unless you don't fit that one. It does come with 4 for the Losi 5T. Unless you just don't fit that one and you fit the other 3. But I can't get that. And you wouldn't even be able to get in there to get the pin out anyway. Or put the pin in. So I just don't think that one goes in. I will try it without that. Take this one out. I did wonder about this one here. Oh, bloody ribs. See you later, Ricky. Take care, buddy. I didn't use the quick release because of how often I do actually pull the tank. Not often enough, and it's easy to just pop the lines. Well, yes and no. When I'm cleaning it, I do like to pop the fuel tank out, and or if I want to empty the fuel tank, there's a little bit of fuel in it, I just want to clean it out. I just thought it'd be easier if I could just pop the fuel tank out easier, especially when I want to clean it and give it a good wash down. I don't like the fuel tank being in there. So I thought I'd give these a try. Let's see what they're like. But I will message the guy and say, do you use all 4 or do you just use 3 of them? Because I can't, for the life of me, now, without that in there, he says he uses them on all his builds, so without that in there, it's pretty solid. I don't know whether it needs a 4th one or not. One on there. Let's put the washers on, but it's not the washers. One on there. And this could be the fun one. Again, how do you, with the engine, I suppose if you're taking the engine in and out as well, it's not quite what I was expecting ease of use wise, let's put it that way. I was expecting a bit more, maybe you could get the engine in and out, or the fuel tank in and out without the engine being out, but I guess you still need to take the engine out before you can take the fuel tank out. So maybe I won't fit into the other one. See how easy it is to clip this in now. As to whether I decide to. Okay. that did go in quite easily. Bit of movement there, with that missing. Just don't get how that clips in underneath there without it being a faff. You don't see how that could do it without it being a faff. Now, try and get this fuel line on here. And this is why I want the quick release stuff, because it just makes life so much easier. So much easier. Oh, let's put that back in now, haven't I? Right, 1, 2, 3, ouch! Oh, that hurt. Ouch. Yeah, see, normally you'd have to undo that one, 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 just to get the fuel tank out, which is why it's a faff. Which is why I wanted to try those quick release ones, but I don't think the quick release ones, I don't know. You still got to undo these 3 that I can see to get it out. And then all the plastic starts welding and warping and this and what else, it just becomes an absolute faff. Thanks. Thanks, Samba. Nobody says, Jeremy, my favourite by a mile went all out through the Taylor catalogue at all, did you? I put the 540. I love that 40. Mark's 40 GT. I think it's the best engine for these cars. It's my favourite bar. I went all out through the Taylor catalogue at it. What have you got on yours then, Nobium? Oh, I'm tempted by that new Taylor 35 though as well. That new Taylor 35 version 2 does look very nice. So that's part of what the pole's going to be. I know what the boys will want, but it's the cost explosion basically. Yeah, I don't know. But we're coming up to summer. These things are an absolute blast to have to run and play with in the summer. So they've been put away for a while, not really driven that much during the winter because that's why I wanted the quick release. Just because if I do drive it in the winter, it's just easy. Take the motor out, take the fuel tank out, get the hose on it, clean it up, toothbrush, hose, bike cleaner, WD-4 or GT85, job done. That's why I wanted the quick release as well. 2 reasons. 1, so that I can do that. 2, that I can empty it with fuel easily. But it didn't work. Evening, Bob's RC, how are you? Looks a bit loose and risk of fracture without it. No, it should be fine. It should be fine even the way we drive it. Technically they need to come out a little bit more, so I'll put those washers on. You get little washers to put over them as well. Might have a little play with that tomorrow. Don't know. You just can't get to that anyway with the air filter there. Got me worried now, Griffey. Righty tighty. I can't get it in there. No. No, it ain't having it. Let me do it that way. See how that fits now with the washer. We need to come out a little bit more still. No, that goes in with the washer now. That helps it at all, I don't know. You're just not going to get that out of there. I don't know how that side comes off. Just put that one on there like that. I can't be bothered. I know the guy that's got the. I mean, they're made by Vertigo, so it's not a rubbish make. It's a bit. Just half a turn more, really. That would be golden. Yeah, I don't know if anyone else runs them. I might ask. He says he runs them on all his, so I don't know. It's what it is. 3 screws is quick release. Yeah, I mean, technically, 1, 2, 3 would have been quick release, wouldn't it? And probably easier to do the screws than those. Makes no sense. I have fitted tanks in jets on brackets here. Total 45 with a 62mm blackbone clutch, nice. 2060 blackbone gears, nice. Total differential with red grease, all 3, very nice indeed. I have seen your empty XL build, yes, Sergeant, very nice indeed. Fat Daddy Drive cups, shafts in the centre, and Fast Lane Forever cups and dog bones, 1 at the 4 corners. Yeah, I've got those to fit. Well, I've done the other Losi. Still got those ones to fit. Well, they go front or rear, I can't remember now. Fast Lane machine. Once the other ones wear out in the other car. I've done obviously some of them on that car, but not these. I think on the rear or the front they were still okay. So I'll wait until they've worn before I put those ones on. Do like those Fast Lane Machine Forever ones, they're very nice. And we've got the Blackbone Cuts, the Vertigo. The other car's a lot more upgraded than this one. This is just almost a basic Losi 5T 2.0. New servos. It's obviously got the Zenua 32 in there still. Fid Racing top plate there, and CRC custom coating and racing shock towers. And the different wheels, but apart from that, this is a stock 5T, whereas the other one is way more upgraded. Bonehead carbon 6-link setup with a billet push, but you have gone all out on it then, haven't you? Yeah, that's what I thought. Plus, there's, you know, they're forever and you can change them. So even this one, this is the Losi 5T 2.0, and that front drive cup there, I don't know whether you can see it. And we haven't driven. Yes, we've driven this a fair bit, but not a huge amount. And look at the wear there, and that's a new drive shaft as well, because the old drive shaft, the pin had pretty much worn through. On the other side, this side it was wearing the cup, and on this side it was wearing the pin. So I have thickened up the diff oil in here now, because I've been told that that makes a big difference. So that's now, I think I put 100k in there now, which is supposed to help stop that wearing so much. That wore out very quickly, which is a little bit annoying. In case Greg's looking, that's, yeah, I did put that on there. It's not supposed to be on there. 5T 2.0s don't come with those, but I did put them on there. I did put one on the front, but it came off, so I do need to sort out another one on that. I just prefer it closed with a boot on it and all the grease contained in there to stop it wearing, rather than being dry. Is my preference on that. And the 1.0 came with the boots. Yeah, that Taylor, I'm toying between the new Taylor 35 V2 or the 440 GT. Those it depends on the price difference. Once that new V2 comes out, how much it's going to be. Because technically we can still run the same exhaust on that, whereas I think with the 40 GT you need a new exhaust. But then the 40 GT is a big bore, and I've seen it run, and it just runs so well. But it's how much more I would need to do to it to make it more bulletproof. You know, how much more do I need to change on the drivetrain? Do I need to do more on the drive shafts, out drives, obviously the clutch? We've got one blackbone clutch already. In fact, it reminds me, I've got to pay Jay for the blackbone clutch I've got for the Baja as well. I do like the blackbone stuff, it's very nice. I like the Vertigo disc Let's go and show you it actually. Easier said than done. I think most of you've seen it, but it's probably been a while. Because it hasn't been out. Well, you haven't. No, you haven't actually seen it because I haven't done the video of it yet, and you haven't seen it running. So the video's stacked up, ready to go, but we haven't really had a chance to run it. This one. So this is the 1.0 that has got more upgrades on it. That has now got a 34 OBR full mod. It's not the Reed, but it's the full mod 34 OBR engine. It's obviously got the Vertigo clutch housing and clutch case. Blackbone clutch in there as well with an FS sintered clutch. It's got, I forget what carb that is now, 1257 I think carb in there. Obviously the high flow fuel lines on it as well. That's got the TLR hinge pin holders. It's got, see that. What else has it got on there? TLR hinge pin holders, VCR exhaust. I'm not overly keen on that. Gone a bit rusty. Does need to clean up. It's been sat here. What else have we got on there? Trying to think what else. Oh, the obviously the outdrives. Yeah, I think the rears I put new Losi ones on there. They are starting to wear. The fronts, we've got the Forevers on the fronts and the Forevers on the centre as well. And I think that's it. This goes well though. Does go well. So I only just got that run in, and then it was time for the packing away because of the winters for the OBR. It's the OBR. And I chose that over the Taylor 35 at the time because the Taylor 35 was having a lot of people were having issues with the existing Taylor 35, and I do know the reason why. I don't want to say anything. So I was like, but now that I know they've got a new cylinder head for it, etc., and the V2, I don't know how much it's going to be, but I'm kind of like kicking myself a little bit, thinking, if I knew they were going to do that, I might have bought it. The only thing I always put on those bulkheads in a metal plate over the steering. Yeah, my cuts were self-destructing on the Taylor 35 1.0, yeah. But a fuel mix with 2-stroke would have done the job of the fuel line. Getting them on makes it easy. That's a very good point, Josh. Thank you. I will try that next time. As you say, a bit of fuel line, because it's got the oil in there as well, hasn't it then? Or even a bit of 2-stroke oil would do it, wouldn't it? Because you ain't going to harm the engine, but put a bit of 2-stroke oil on it. Yeah. Yeah, I will say, when Mark's got his 40 GT out, the way that thing hauls butt across the field, I think he's got a 50 as well. And I thought the 40 was better than the 50. It just has a better power range. And then you've obviously he's got a 71 and an 88 and goodness knows what else. And they're just too much. I think that 40 in this car is the perfect sweet spot. With the 40 GT, you really should upgrade the entire drivetrain, but it's worth it. Yeah. Well, I'd probably do it as it broke. Yeah, thanks. We like the 1.0. So yeah, I might start working on this one now a bit more. The 2.0. Yeah, the 1.0 we have a UBEC on it as well, so we've got the full 8.4 volts all the time. We run it on the 3S LiPo. And that OBR engine, it's got good power. Good power. Yeah, it was weird. I was going to get the 35. Callum wanted the 35, but then just so many people seem to be having issues with it. It put me right off. Which is a shame because again, it's a lovely looking engine. Greg, evening. How are you? You're late, yes, you are. And I'm working on the Losi for a change, although I did mess up. I broke it. I broke the fuel lines. So I was supposed to be putting these on to put the high flow fuel lines in, and I broke it. Like a silly Billy. So I'm going to have to go on and have a look to get new ones of these. Because I broke it. And I'm hoping I can get those bits off of there actually now. Otherwise I will need the more fuel line. Torque over top speed. Well, that will rev to about 20,000 RPM. Yeah, that's right. That's got the black blunt clutch. Yeah, so I love that vertigo clutch housing stuff as well. I think that's lovely on those cars. What else to say really? I'm going to clean my hands up because there's not a lot else I can do because I've broken it. How much is a 40 GT? That's the question. Because you need to know the exhaust as well. And that, what I don't want to do is buy a whereas the Olimat silence pipe would be okay for the 35, wouldn't it? Oh, decisions. Now. So, yeah, bit annoyed wanting to get that. I mean, it doesn't. They call them high flow fuel lines, but they don't. The actual bore of the thing isn't any thicker than a normal one. So, but I think it just stops it creasing up. If that makes sense. So let's see what Taylor RC have for those. I'm all dirty now, I'm covered in it. So let's see how much a GT 40 GT is. Losi 5T big bore engines. Oh, that's interesting, you know. Because they've got the Taylor 35 version 1.5. I wonder if the version 1.5 is to sort out the issues that the version 1 had, which is what put me off. So Taylor 40 GT from £949. Fitment type, Losi, still £949. Carb, 1257. I think we've got the 1257 on the OBR, but I don't think it's the extreme. It's a 1257, which is really nice. It's really nice carb, that. With stack, I think we'll take that. That's £79. Yeah, okay. Oh, hasn't gone up in price yet. Exhaust. Add big bore exhaust plus cost. We need that. Clutch system. Clutch bell carrier setup, £99.50. Complete 62mm system, £159. Do we need the 62mm system? That's the question. Or do we go not 62? Version 1 has no issues. The 1.5 is the bottom end of a 2.0 with a 1.0 cylinder. Can upgrade to a 2.0 cylinder later. You get the one that makes Greta Skell. MBRC, hi, how are you? Just get the complete 40 GT with the Samba pipe and the 1257 carb. I'm working out how much it was. Yeah, the 62, no question. Oh, no battery on that again. Why is it doing no battery on me? I had it on charge. You're all egging me on now, aren't you? I've got to see how much money there is in the YouTube fund. And see if we can run them at Cambridge as well. I don't want to buy a big engine if we can't, because we're getting grief from the park as well at the moment. Yeah, the 62, no question. Go 62 is worth it, says Jeremy. As overheating issues ended up being used with vacuum leaks, causing a leaner mix. Once the troubleshot that, no issues. I used Tony gaskets and never had an issue. I heard there was something, I don't want to go into it on detail, but I heard there was something else as well on fairly good authority. But it doesn't matter. I mean, they're coming out with the V2 now anyway, which just, is, from everything I've seen on it, is going to be stonkingly good. I got the Tony Green pipe. Absolutely love the sound of it. Tony Green pipe, what's that? So we go complete 62mm system, cylinder head, stock head or add billet head. What's the difference? Oh my life. How much the big body's all in? 188. Big body exhaust ain't cheap, is it? 448 minus. $260 for the. I suppose that's about right, isn't it? So with the stock head and the exhaust and the big bore and the carb and everything else, 62mm system. Don't know what the stock head. Don't know what the difference between a stock head and a billet head is. I suppose one's shiny and one's not shiny, is it? Billet every time if you want it bomb-proof. Billet equals beautiful. If you want to see it, I have a short of it on my channel here and a full build of it up on Remy's. Okay, I've seen, as I said, Mark's got the 40 GT and I love that engine. Absolutely love the 40 GT in his car, and I think his 5T with that engine in it just drives the best. Cast on machine. Oh, it's got to be billet then, isn't it? Yeah, it's got to be billet then. So, all in, with a billet head, looking at £1,523. I shouldn't have bought the XTR, should I? And how much have we got in the hardcore expense fund? Not that much. Yeah, if I don't get the Super Forza, that would use all of our fund. We'd have no money left. None. None. Zero. Zilch. If I don't get the MST on our next GT, we'd have £400 left. Oh, I don't know. For first time large scale petrol RC, what would you advise? I've seen those Sector Green North cars, but would you say it's worth saving a bit more for Losi 5T? Krell, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, if I'm being brutally honest with you. And the reason I say it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other is what you're going to do with it. The 30 degree Norths are good cars. I'm not going to say they're not good cars, they are good cars, but they have some failings. And the failings are the driveline. The diffs are not as strong. The diffs, the outdrives and everything are not as strong as a Losi one. That being said, how much would you have to spend to put Losi diff parts in it when they break? You don't have to do it straight away, but when they break, probably not £1,000 difference that there is between the two. That being said, again, the 30 degree North engine is not a bad engine, but it's not a Xenor engine. Are you then going to upgrade it? So it depends on where you want to go with the car. But at the same time, if you buy the Losi, you're going to want to change the body if you're going to be driving it hard, because that body will trash in no time. So you're going to spend £100 on a 30 degree North bash body. There's something about having a genuine Losi. There is no question about that. But then again, the servos on the Losi are going to give out pretty quickly anyway, because they're Spectrum. So you're going to be replacing them. You might end up replacing the ones on 30 degree North. I can't say don't get a 30 degree North. I really can't. It's a bit like us when we were looking at the Baja versus the HPI. I'd like to have got the HPI, but it was twice the price. And I was sitting there thinking, why am I paying more for the HPI when I'm not actually getting that much more? Especially as I had an engine to drop in it, and you know, the HPI didn't even come with an engine, and it was more than the Rovan with an engine. So yeah, and I think if you upgrade over time anyway, you know, even a Losi, you're going to start ending up, you know, the outdrives on a Losi, I'm going to change. You know, I'll buy the FLM Forever ones. So even then, you do start moving away from Losi parts. And if you break plastic parts, you're going to replace them with the KM. You're not going to buy the Losi parts. So I can't say don't get the 30 degree North. Yeah, actually, yes, you can get the roller now. You can get the 2.0 roller, can't you, Nobium? So that's a very good point. The 30 degree North roller plus a Taylor 35 is the same price as a Losi. So I think Nobium's hit the nail on the head there for you. Get the roller and stick a decent engine in it. Yeah, and as Greg said, he got the Losi. There's just something about having, you know, I mean, people came on the stream today and go, is that a 30 degree North or is it a Losi? So people want to know whether it's 30 degree North or Losi. And if you want bragging rights, you've got to say Losi or Losi. I'll get told off because I call it Losi instead of Losi. I mean, guys in the stream now, you tell me which way is right. Is it number 1, Losi, or number 2, Losi? Losi or Losi? And we see, because we've got American people and we've got English people in here now. So be interesting to see what people say, whether it's Losi or Losi. Did I do that? Hang on, I forgot which way round I did it. I can't remember which way round I said which one was which. So sorry, you're going to have a bit of an echo now. So I think Nobian's hit the nail on the head there for you. Get the roller and stick a decent engine in. Yeah, as Greg said, he got the Losi. There's just something about having, you know, I mean, people. I get told off because I call it Losi instead of Losi. I mean, guys in the stream now, you tell me which way is right. Is it number 1 Losi or number 2 Losi? So we've got a 2, we've got a 1, we've got a 1, we've got a 2, we've got a 1, got a 1. 1 for English people, 2 for Americans. Great. I think you're right there. Number 1. The loss and the I are silent. Low. Eclectic Electric, how are you? Low C. It's all the same to me. Not low C. It's been number 1 for the past 40 years. I can remember. Yeah, you see, I had someone have a right go at me. I say right go. They came and they went, "When will you people learn to spell it? To say it right? It's low," and they put LOWC. I mean, well, we call it Losi. I mean, we're English. I just went back and said, "Well, it's a bit like us saying aluminium or aluminium, and you say aluminum or water." You know, there's just American and English language are the same language but different. We are different in so many ways because of the way we pronounce things and our accents. So, tomato or tomato, you know, is it Porsche or Porsche? Is it Nike or Nike? Is it Adidas or Adidas? You know, there's so many different ones out there where you can say, how is it pronounced? Potato, is it a scone or a scone? 6-1, half as hard as the others, as long as it's fun. Indeed, Jeremy. Gary's English, no English, that bloody language. Very true as well. Although Americans came from England until they had their Independence Day. And as Novia said, there's something about a Losi or Losi. No doubt. That's why I went all out with the Taylor chassis, ground up build. Now it's a Taylor 5T, yeah. Well, are you Nobium? Are you UK? Are you, where are you based? Eclectic Electric, you can hardly talk, for you're from Wales. So, how do you pronounce it in Wales? Washington State, very nice. What part? So, where do you get all your Taylor stuff? Do you get it from Detroit? Don't buy a silenced. But well, I like to have one silenced and one loud. If I'm being honest with you, Josh, it just gives us that option for where we're running. I said we're getting a bit of abuse, a bit of grief from the field where the skate park is at the moment. People complaining and they're trying to stop us, but they can't, and it's driving them mad. And they could stop us if they take the right route, and they may well stop us running the noisy ones there, or stop us running the petrol cars there in totality, which would be a shame. But we've got other fields we can go to. So it's nice to have the noisy ones, and I do like the noisy ones, but at the same time it's nice to have a quiet one. So that's why I like having both cars, one noisy, one not noisy. Nice. Oh, very nice. I used to go to Washington State Fair, but I used to been to Spokane. It's a nice place. And then Seattle. Used to have an agent I dealt with in Seattle. but not anymore. So I haven't got any need to go to Washington State now, which is a real shame. Lovely. I mean, those sort of, those sort of areas, once you get out in the mountains, I'd like to, nice retiring place that is. Oh, very nice. Yeah, I got stuck in Seattle one night. I was coming back from Spokane, connecting flight, missed it, so ended up staying in Seattle overnight at the Riverside Hotel, I think it was, where the Beatles stayed. Then went for a wander around downtown, went up the Space Needle. So yeah, I've been to Seattle a few times. Washington State is nice. We're clear in. If we don't say anything and let everyone else argue over dumb stuff. I've got abuse running my fire station from Canada's a mile away. I've been having emails back and forth. Actually, I'll bring them up. You can have a right laugh at these. Actually, I'm going to bring up this little email train. And I'll bring you guys up to speed with it. Where are we? Where are we? Oh, here's the FTX one. We're bringing you up to some email funnage that I've been having sent. So they're ghosting you now. So, oh, I need to flip it, don't we? So, first of all, we've got, hi all, hope you're keeping well. I'm curious if you're planning on releasing the FTX version of the Really Deathwatcher XL. So this was first about obviously the on-road car. Yes, there's something on the horizon. It'll be released very soon. Keep an eye on our website for new releases. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for getting back to me and letting me know. Are you doing any review models at all? No worries, as far as I'm aware, no. Fine. See an official release now. Curious if you're going to release the DR8 V2, the Truggy, the Buggy, and the 2 monster trucks. Look forward to hearing from you. Hi, David. So the V2 DR8 is already about. It's just using the same part number, FTX R, and that is the same part, but an R denotes it's a red one instead of a blue one. So that's not a V2, but it's slightly more expensive than the V1 blue version. We had the samples of the Buggy, Truggy and MT, but in all honesty, it's probably not something we're going to run alongside the DR8 and the Super Forza. So if I take that part number, and I copy that over there, and I'll put it over here, and I'll just stick it in here like this, paste it like that, bish bosh bash, and yeah, that's the 459B, £355. That's the 459R, £355. So it's the same car. It's a V1. So that was a bit of Billy S from them. Keeping my fingers, sorry, I thought the V2 had new push-button ESC and 22 motor, plus a few other small changes. That's a shame you'll not be offering the Buggy, Truggy and MT, as I understand they're all based on the same chassis as the DR8. Seeing how well this car's performed in our videos and its price, if these other cars were just as good and priced similarly, then I'm sure they would sell like hotcakes. Also, Lee from Custom RC says top of the line, upgrade parts for it as well. No, I keep fingers crossed for the Buggy and MT. Best regards. No, it uses the same ESC and motor as it always has. Okay, thanks. Although I thought there was a new V2 DR8 that also has the following: aluminium hinge pin holder at the back, push button switch, reinforced chassis with ribbons in the back, new radio and receiver, lights operated by from the remote. Best regards. And then, hi, we just follow up on the below regards to the IV2 if and when likely be available. Look forward to hearing from you. Nothing. Zero. Goose eggs. They're just gone silent on me. So, 2 emails, silent treatment. So there is going to be a V2 DR8 at some stage. Now we go to, here we go. You'll love this. In fact, what I'll do is I'll read it out to you rather than showing the email. So we were, the backstory to this is we were at the field and there was two cars running. One car, Mark had his Losi with the 71, I think. Why is this not charging? Down 10%. Why is it not charging? I'm just going to check this is actually charging. 1 second, guys. It is saying it's charging, so hopefully we don't do it. If you lose me, I'm sorry. But it is definitely charging. For some reason, it's chewing through the battery quicker than... So the backstory is we're running at the field, hadn't run there for a while, and then the next thing I know is we've got an old guy and his woman walking across from the car park shouting at us, "You can't do that here." So, cut along short of it, he then announced himself as he's the chairman of the parish council, that it's private property, we can't run on there, yada. Of course, we then turn around and say, well, it's not, it's owned by the parish council, it's not private, it's owned by the parish council, public land, is there any bylaws? No bylaws, call the police, what law are we breaking, yada. So, anyway, we carry on running. He's losing his rag big time, taking photos of our cars, threatening to lock us in the car park, yada. So I thought, send the parish clerk an email and just have a look on their website, see what I can find regarding any bylaws, etc. No bylaws. And also they're missing a few documents from their website. So I just sent them a very polite email. I'll look it over there while I'm looking at your comments. I'll start with bar high short and have a bar 5B with next to no Raven parts or HPI parts or Taylor RC parts built, not brought. I think sometime, I mean, if you look at Jay bought a Roven blade, he paid like, I want to say £575 for it. And now the only part of that buggy that's left, I think, it's not even the shock. It might be the shocks, but everything's changed on it. I mean, literally everything. And there's a few plastic bits. It's got a 71. It's got FLM aluminium arms, extended arms. It's got the drive cups. It's got new. I mean, it's literally been stripped, and it would have been better off just building it from ground up. I've not read such secrecy about V2 since 19... lose a lot of trees after hiring at the end, so should we discuss Corrali and Tekin now? Corrali is just, I've sold out Corrali. I don't have a Corrali anymore. Refuel your Losi with gasoline, Dave. Come for a visit. I have a decent fish scale track in my backyard. If I get over there again, I will. Ask people, well, they were old people. That's why I call them ASBOs around here, yeah. Right, so I just sent them an email that night and said, "Dear Sir, Madam, I wonder if you can help me. I've been looking on your website for some documents and I've been unable to locate same. Please could you either send me copies via email or point me to the correct locations on your website for the following: the budget and precept for the 2019 to 20, 21 to 20 to 21 and 22 to 23 years. A copy of the bylaws for the use of the recreational land / playing fields owned by the parish council. I look forward to hearing from you." Their reply. Oh no, didn't get a reply. Stone cold silence. A few days later, dear sir, madam, sorry to chase, but are you able to respond to the below request, please? Look forward to hearing from you. Reply from the parish clerk. Thank you for your email. Apologies for not replying to you earlier, to your earlier message, but I have just found it in my junk folder. I'm not sure why it went to a junk folder, but there you go, because I use a proper email address, so there's no reason that it should go to a junk folder. It's a mainstream ISP email address. It's not a Google one or anything else like that. The Parish Council received numerous complaints about noise levels about the petrol-fuelled cars. Another group of model car enthusiasts has been using the site for years without any problems. We've only received complaints from residents since the noisy cars have arrived at the site. It is a community space to be used by the community, but at the same time consideration has to be given to the local residents who live around the open space, and they have been complaining about the disruption on their Sundays. Notices have been placed around the open space requesting that noisy vehicles not be used, but these have been continuously ignored and removed. The ongoing noise complaints have been minuted at council meetings, and a decision has been made to not allow them to be used. If you're a resident within the parish, you are most welcome to attend the next full council meeting to be held on Monday the 13th February at the parish hall to present your case about the use of the community space for petrol-fuelled cars. Please do not hesitate to contact me if you have further questions. So, my reply. Many thanks for your response. However, you haven't answered the questions that I've asked. I'm not sure why you decided to ignore answering my questions. However, please can you answer the questions that I'll repeat again? The budget and precepts for the years copy the bylaws for the use of recreational land, playing fields owned by the parish council. I'm sure you are fully aware that the use of any public/council land can only be governed by bylaws, hence why I'm asking for a copy of the bylaws. I've been using the field for over 3 years without any incident. We have never seen any signs about the use of noisy vehicles, and these have most certainly never been removed by anyone that I know, so I resent your comments to this matter. I've also reviewed the minutes from your council meetings from May 2022 through to December 2022. I cannot view the December 2022 as you haven't uploaded them, and I've been unable to find any mention of in the minutes where the noise level has been discussed. And on the basis that I do not believe any petrol cars have been run on the field since the beginning of November, I find it highly unlikely this matter was discussed in December. I can also not find it listed for the agenda either. Please can you direct me to the minutes of the meetings? Notice the use of the plural, as you stated, the ongoing noise complaints have been minuted at council meetings, where you claim this has been minuted. There are also ways to go about things and how to communicate with people to get a good outcome. Walking up to people while shouting, "You can't do that here," is most certainly not the right way to start a conversation or discussions, in addition accusing people of removing signs that likely never been put in place, and also not a good way to conduct a civilised conversation. I'm sure if said signs had been put up, the chairman would have mentioned this and pointed to the signs whilst he was shouting at us. And I'm sure that he would also have the invoices to evidence that these signs were made. For reference, Sunday was the first time in over 2 months we've been there. I look forward to hearing from you on the following items: the precepts, the budget and precepts, a copy of the bylaws, a copy of the council meeting minutes where the noise level was discussed, and a copy of the invoices for the signs. Well, Kev got called out as well by some councilwoman. He was messaging me. So then I get a response. Dear Mr. Lee, please accept my apologies for not providing the information requested, but it's taken me a bit of time to locate everything you requested. I can only apologise again for the financial information not being on the website, and this is being remedied with immediate effect. I enclosed copies of the budgets as far as being able to find them in the computer folders I inherited. The budget for 23-24 is still under discussion, has not been finalised, so I now provide that spreadsheet. I'm not aware of any bylaws and do not believe there have been the need for any to be created in the past by the parish council. They are usually used to prevent the land from being abused. However, I'm checking with Colchester City Council and Essex County Council to try to see if we have any records of existing bylaws for the location. The parish council received its first complaint about noise on Monday, on 10th of July, and the residents living close to the field have been complaining regularly since. Noise enforcement officers have also been notified by these residents. Bear in mind that comment about the noise enforcement officers being... because basically these people are lying through their teeth constantly. Dear Catherine, many thanks for your email and providing the missing budgets. I will await you sending through the minutes of the council meetings where you say this was discussed and minuted. a copy of an email, because she sent me a copy of one person's email complaining. A copy of the email is not evidence that the topic was discussed or minuted. I've reread the minutes of the council meetings, and there is no mention on minutes of the noise being discussed. I note the complaint only appears to be from one resident. Is it usual that you have one resident dictate what an area of public space can be used for? We have thought if the noise was that much of an issue, happening as often, as long and as loud as being alleged, residents would have actually attended the council meetings in person, ? Yet I can find no evidence of this in the minutes of any council meeting. So it goes on and on and on and on, and basically it was never minuted, it was never discussed. The signs were never put up, they were never there was no invoices for the signs. They'd just been lying all the way along. And then she sends me a copy of a sign that was put up literally that week, because you can tell by the state of the grass, the trees in the background, and goodness knows what else. The issue, the minutes. The issue had not been minuted at full council meeting, for which I have to take complete responsibility. It was my oversight. I received the emails, but you said it had been minuted. It just lies. So anyway, we've been there the last 2 weeks now, and last week we had big burly bloke come up to us. Signs up, because they put signs up all over the place now saying that you can't run them. You can't run them here. Well, why not? There's signs up saying you can't. Right, okay. So what law are we breaking? There's rules. I said, rules aren't laws. So we're all going to report it to the council. I said, report it to the council. I said, or call the police. I don't really care. Petrol Power Sundays from now on, all the crew. Well, yeah. So Jay's had his 71 down there. Mark took his 88 down there on Sunday. They were both running. I mean, they are two loud cars, in fairness. So it is quite funny. That 88, Mark blew the bottom through out of his 88. It just blew the diff totally off. Yeah, they probably do, Griffey. What's a noise enforcement officer? When he comes round and just checks how much the decibels are. Who would ride a bike? Yeah, they do. But this went on and on and on, and then she started abusing her position, looking up whether I was on the electoral roll and goodness knows what else. It all got quite funny. So no doubt, I mean, they probably will stop us doing it at some point. They probably will get the bylaws put in place to stop us, but it is what it is. Anyway, why is have I stopped? Play. There we go. Karens and old people love your Barcelona. I bet they do. I could take a jet, won't I? Fly over their house. Yeah, next I didn't, because it was next time I will get the phone out. Start GoFundMe to raise Dave's bail money. Well, if the police come, I'll just say, what law are we breaking? And if they can't say what law we're breaking, there's not a lot they can do. You have to be breaking a law for the police to be able to do anything. Otherwise, there's nothing they can do either. Yes, and that's what I'll be honest, I did check. I mean, we're 100 metres away from the residents as well. So, I mean, there's 19 houses. I mean, the email goes on. So there's 19 houses along there. One resident's complained. 1 out of 19 houses. If it was that much of an issue, why aren't the others complaining? So, and she faux pas even more, because when she wrote an email to the person that had been complaining, and copied it into one person in our group. I don't know whether she deliberately did it or did it by mistake. She did a BCC, and we saw the email that she sent, which was a complete fabrication and lies from start to finish. And I called her out on that and said, I've seen your email. It's an absolute disgrace. And I said, it's I said to her, you're just absolute disgrace. If you don't stop using noisy RCs, eventually RCs, but no, they won't. Electric. I mean, if we go, there's a place in Dagenham we go to, which is in the middle, and they go there every Sunday or every other Sunday, and they have a ton of cars running, and nobody has any issues about it. None whatsoever. It's just certain Karens. Do a live we can all watch. Yeah, I might do actually. Might do one Sunday actually if we go there. If the weather's good, because the evenings are getting longer now. But Barcelona is also on a weed trim. Get a dB meter and check it yourself. I've done that at Collector Electric. I have done that. I have done that. And yeah, with the 88 and the 71, they effectively we are in breach. But they don't run all the time. On the other cars, we wouldn't be in breach, no way. But on the 71 and the 88, it's borderline. It peaks over sometimes because it ricochets off the wall where the train line is. So sometimes you're allowed a 10 decibel deviant or deviation, and sometimes it will go to 12 decibels over. Most of the time, it's sitting about 7 or 8 decibels over norm. So, but if the wind's blowing in the right direction, it peaks off that wall. Sometimes it can peak over. Indeed, you have to break the law. And that's why if there's no bylaws, they can't do anything. The louder the better, Greg. The louder the better. Dagenham though, isn't it? Yeah. Dagenham. Alive. Petrol cars in popular with Colchester councils, yeah, real cars in Dagenham does, yeah. Every 3 decibels is double the volume, is it? You can sneak it. I don't mind the electric. I don't mind the electrics. All good fun. It's just a bit of fun at the end of the day, you know. And then, you know, the other thing I said to him was, by the way, just so you know, we're not just a bunch of louts that turn up. We are, you know, all have public liability insurance or an affiliation. And she then started going, oh, so you're an organised group then? Well, organised groups have to do this, and this. I said, we're not an organised group. I said, but if you prefer it, we will all just not take out the public liability insurance, and then you can't call us an organised group. It's just through an affiliation through the BRCA that we are members of, so that we have public liability insurance for when we're driving cars in public open spaces. So, you know, we are sensible. We all carry 5 million of public liability. Nitro Freak, how high are you? I haven't given myself a thumbs up. So if you haven't given me a thumbs up, if you can give me a thumbs up, I'm going to be calling it a night because I'm got to go and find myself a new high flow fuel line kit now. I will have a look at the Taylor one, see how much that is. And I will try and get the video done. I'm working on one at the moment, which is the last Kronos video that we will ever do because I've sold it. You can hear my 5G echo. It sounds like a dirt bike running far, far away. Love it. Yes, Greg. Love it. Absolutely love it. You can't beat it. Yeah, I can get that. If you've got tinnitus, I can get that. I think the biggest difference, Griffey, though, is I used to think they were a pain in the butt. When you're filming, and the same in nitro cars, when you're filming an electric car and someone's running a nitro, or one's running a 2-stroke, all you can hear in the footage when we're trying to edit it is that engine in the background, and it is the most annoying thing. And even to a point when people are running them around you and you're not driving one, it becomes a bit annoying. And I do get that, but when you're driving it and when you're used to driving it and you're etc., there is nothing like it. Absolutely nothing like it. And just so you guys know, that was the front drive shaft. So I'll try to get the pin out. I need to get an arbor press to get that pin out, and then I can put a new pin in it. But yeah, that was the front drive shaft, and you can't. Unfortunately, no one does a replacement one for these. Losi and Losi alone, I'm aware of, and I did ask Mike, I think. So I've got the new pins to put in there. I just got to get this one out to put a new pin in. Yeah, Greg, I might send mine to you, Greg. Get it to do it. Arbor press, yeah, I will get an arbor press and get it out. The one I'd like is H by Subaru, but that trick rear exit exhaust. Yes, that's very nice. I wonder what the hypothetical insurance premium would be on RC cars owned by you and Kev, etc. Well, I said we pay 20 quid a year, and it gives us 5 million public liability insurance. It's a group thing that everyone, in my opinion, anyone that's running in public spaces for 20 quid a year should buy the BRCA, because if you hit a car, you hit a person, you hit a building, or anything else like that, okay, you've got £500 excess. But can you imagine if you slam into the side of a car? That could be £2,000. You've got to find that, because otherwise they are coming after you, especially if they see you. If you hit a person and cause them to lose, be out of work, or, an injury, they can come after you. So, worst case scenario is you hit someone and kill someone. It's unlikely, but it's not impossible. You've got that. Okay, yes, okay, you've got £500 excess, but for 20 quid a year, it's a bit peace of mind, really, isn't it? Just a bit of peace of mind. Anyway, guys, thank you for all joining me on this Friday. Sorry we couldn't finish off what we were doing. But you might have a look at the clubs, because this is through the British RC Car Association. So you might have a group, Greg, that you can join, a US group that provides it. And if you're doing any sort of racing, you have to have it, because it provides the liability insurance for people driving, the marshals out on the track, etc., etc. And it also covers people for public spaces. So it might be worth seeing if any of your group affiliations provide that sort of cover. You might find that they do. But then again, America with the, as you say, Florida and its laws, you might not have in Florida. Anyway, guys, take care, stay safe, love you all. I will try and I might see if we can get a live done on Sunday. Might see, depends what we're doing, who we're out with, and I just don't want to do it for the sake of doing it. I like it when there's a lot of action going on, if that makes sense. As Sambagogo says, smash the like button before you go, because it's a Losi, not a Losi, or is it a Losi, not a Losi? Anyway, cheers, guys. Take care. Love you all. Bye.